Good morning, YouTube. I'm trying to unpack my truck. I haven't seen the bottom of my truck in a while. Oh, it's a chair. I have to get my stuff out of the road. I hear a vehicle coming up the road. It's almost there, though. I'm starting to see the truck. That's a load, beginnings of a load for the dump. And up the hill. Yay. Because not everybody wants to see my stuff. So, this is the chicken coop, part of it. There are 5 or 6 more of these inside a tent. Which gives me about 10 of them at, 10 feet by 36. Dun, 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 and 150 feet of regular chicken wire. And some pet feeders I bought about a year ago at Aldi's. A year or two ago. Figured for cats, but I don't know. Maybe the little stands will prevent chickens from pooping. I don't know, whatever. In their water as easily. Yeah, that's a nice butterfly right there. Probably do not have him on film and he is gone. Oof, I probably need a break. Well, woke up this morning, man, to a weird nightmare. I was in an amusement park. My truck had some kind of other truck stacked in it that was mine also. They had like wrecked each other and couldn't be separated. A bunch of kids had jumped in the back that weren't mine, plus I had kids of my own in there. And we ended up, missed the turn. The kids wanted to ride to some street. I'm thinking, okay, it's the easiest way to get rid of them. But got cut off and ended up getting on the freeway. By the time we got to the freeway, somehow we were in some weird amusement park. This is like a nightmare, I just want you to know. I mean, it's like, and nobody could tell us the way out of this amusement park. We ended up in all kind of weird places. People were threatening me. Finally, some lady was assaulting me. And I think I kicked her. And, for assaulting me from behind. I mean, it just kind of pissed me off. And, the next thing I know, I woke up overheated in the truck. Probably hadn't slept 1 to 2 hours. And in the middle of the night, I had slept 3 hours. 3.5 maybe. But I couldn't breathe. And I was froze half to death. It was like 30 degrees. So I drove some ungodly sum of miles for a cup of coffee at a gas station. Drove back. Made it almost all the way home. Hadn't pee. Decided that I was going to want another cup of coffee. And the little store down there wasn't going to be open for another hour. And then they still wouldn't have coffee made. So I drove, and a policeman had followed me a good portion of the way. Just through the 30 mile an hour. But when it got to the 50 mile an hour, he left me alone and went on. He probably ran my tags and checked on me. But, by then it was like 5:30 in the morning anyway. So, I drove back and got another cup of coffee, and this time I needed 10 gas. So I took in $13, saw the newspaper headlines, decided to buy 2 expensive newspapers, paid for the coffee, went out, got a 20, went back in, had put 10 on gas, and bought the newspapers, came back and sat up and read them and drank the other coffee. And, had to use a toilet porta potty while I was on the way back, because coffee. And, too funny, pulled into a Long John Silver's and used a porta potty from a construction site. And I swear, because it was like getting near 6:30 in the morning, I thought, my imagination was that they were arriving on the scene at the construction site, and there I was in their porta potty. Oh man. Plus I thought in the dark I had pooped on the lid before I realized it wasn't open. Man, it was just like nightmare after nightmare after nightmare. And but I hadn't, because I tried to clean it up and there was nothing there. And by the time I came out, it was sort of daylight, so I could really see. It was cool. At least I didn't make a mistake. But man. And so then, and I came back here, I read for a while these newspapers, and I went to sleep and had a nightmare. No kidding. I mean, go figure. Why wouldn't I? But it was no non-COVID related, you know, just a mess. I think it was just all the strange things happening. So I got to put a chicken coop out here somewhere. It really needs to be today. But after I woke up, I got scared. And that was my point before I move on to the chicken coop story. I got paranoid about running out of time. Because Chattanooga has 91 cases right now. And they're talking about a bunch of... I bought a Knoxville Sentinel newspaper, which is not the county I'm in. I'm in Cook County. But Knoxville's imposing some sanctions where if you're caught driving in Knoxville, they can fine you real heavily because you're supposed to be sheltering at home. And then I bought a USA Today, and they're underestimating the deaths by, like, you know, whenever they're saying 1.5 million or something, or I don't know, whatever. But it's getting ridiculously wrong, and I'm knowing it's coming faster and faster, and I am just not prepared to shelter in place, and I'm scared. I can't wash my hands. I can't take a bath. I do not have a month or two supply of food. There's just no way. I just don't have it. I've got to have more water. I gotta have a chicken coop up. These chickens gotta come out of that trailer. I mean, they're stinking that trailer to high heaven. I won't lie about it. It's not good. And man, do I need a chair. But and this thing's still flooded. It's gonna rain again in a couple days, and I can't drain it. I don't even have time to be fooling with it. It's like, it's just gonna have to just be what it is. I'm at the point of just caving it in, even though I know that's not a good thing to do. I'm like, screw it. Cave it in, drive on it, pack it down, move on, it'll dry eventually. Or it won't. But I mean, what's the difference between it drying and any other dirt drying? I mean, you know, if you close up the hole, the water's gotta go. That's just all there is to it. I mean, if it was really soupy and you drove on it, you would just sink deeper and deeper and deeper. But I don't know, you know, the dirt's going to displace some of the water and move it on. And the rest can just bake dry or not. It's like, it's not going to matter. I can't drive in it anyway. Nobody's coming to fix it. Let's face it, it's just not going to happen. That's not going to be considered an essential service. It's going to get shut down soon enough, and I'm going to be trapped with it, screwed up anyway. Worst case scenario, I'm start laying them patio blocks out here to drive on. But some of it's drying up so hard you can't even break it off to knock it over. So I figure if I knock it over, it's clay, it's going to dry. It's going to get rock hard, and I'm not going to be able to dig in it any daggone way. And if I can't dig in it, I could probably drive on it. I'm just saying. I mean, dirt's dirt. I mean, eventually it'll get new ruts, and it'll be nasty real quick if it rains heavy and sits, and I know that. But in the meantime, it's going to dry out, and I could probably drive on it sooner if I just shove it over and be done with it. So, whatever. I'm going to take that hay and use it for the hay, grass, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to take and use that for mounting over some taters here in the future soon. Just don't know where I'm putting that chicken coop. It's a cross between the corner of the yard where I don't want it. I really don't want it up over the septic tank, even though it hasn't been used for 10 years. I don't think it's healthy for the chickens. I really don't want it in the front yard because it's an eyesore. And plus, that's garden space, man. And then back there, it's by the creek, which is murky and muddy, wet where it shouldn't be wet. And that's not good for the chickens either. I don't need them up in water because I might give them worms sitting in too much water. I can't even get back there to see what I could do to fix that. The other two areas need to be parking pads, in case I get a building up in there or need a roll-off dumpster. And I also will need a place to park my truck. So I don't know. I haven't looked at in front of the barn, but I probably eventually need to be able to drive up to the barn, unless it's going to fall in, in which case, probably still not a good place for a chicken coop in front of it. But I don't know, I'm running out of options. I got to start making a move and doing something. And I'm supposed to go back and have my truck fixed again. I don't know if I told you about that. Say it's electrical, none of my gauges work now. I can't even tell if my headlights are on or not from inside the truck. It's like a woodpecker or something out there. I don't know, I better get off here for a minute and just let y'all go for now. And get this wheelbarrow up into the house. See ya and out. Oh, by the way, it's Friday the 3rd of April. And yeah, I'm wearing the same clothes. Uncombed hair. The whole 9 yards. Alright, and out.